Hi, I'm Caroline and I'm studying Maths, Physics, English Lit and Geography, as well as the extended project. I plan to study surveying at university, so I wanted something that would be relevant to my university course, as well as something that I was really interested in. I'm sure most of you are aware of the proposed urban expansion in Baines and the fact that this could be built on greenbelt land. So I find this a particularly interesting topic, so I've decided to write my extended project on Has the Greenbelt Had Its Day? This topic has led me to do a huge amount of research that's broadened the ways that I've done research compared to my traditional A-levels. Firstly, I went to a parish council meeting in the village where I live and listened to a talk by a councillor who went through the proposed changes in Bath. And this was really useful because I was able from this to then organise a meeting with the chair of the parish council, who gave me a huge amount of background information, as well as a contact number for Baines, which I rang, and then got some documents about the regional spatial strategy, which sort of outlines the plans for development. So this has been really helpful, and I found it's really broadened my kind of communicational skills, and it's also helped me gain a huge amount of confidence. I think this is a really valuable aspect of the extended project.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Harry, and I'm studying music, maths, physics and French. And I started off wanting to do a project on something which really interests me, and my main passion, as anyone here will know straight away, is football. And I was going to look into doing a project on football. I was going to link it in with football disasters and how it's affected football, and if it's now pricing out what's considered the average football fan. But I decided that next to all these people who are doing incredibly academic sort of things, that it was probably best if I tried to link it in with my subjects. So I was a bit stumped for ideas for a bit, but all of us went to watch Louise, Simon and the other two do their presentations at Bath Uni. And I watched Louise's one, which was about Germany, and I thought if I could link it in with French, and that would be a really good opportunity for me. So my title is now a comparison of the effects that World War II had on Bristol and Bordeaux. And I'm trying to link it in with these two cities as they're obviously twin together. And I did French exchange in year 9, so I've got contacts over in France and obviously lots of contacts in Bristol who I can try and get information out of. So I was just trying to link it with my subjects a lot more than football perhaps would have.
Hi, I'm Fiona. I'm taking Geography, Chemistry, English Literature and Theatre Studies. At first it took me a long time to decide what topic I was going to take for the extended project. I kept thinking of ones and then thinking, maybe not. And I was talking to Miss Cartwright about this at one point, and she suggested that because of my love of drama, that I write a play. And in my GCSE drama course, I really enjoyed a unit called Theatre and Education, in which myself and my drama group performed a play to some primary school children. And I wanted to repeat this, but write the play myself, direct it and produce it, and also perform in it with a few other people. So I contacted my old primary school, and they were really enthusiastic about the idea, and the deputy head suggested that I write for year 5 about the Egyptians. So for the past few weeks I've been writing and rehearsing with 4 other people a play about the Egyptian pharaoh Tutankhamun, as well as the research into the Egyptians and of course the age group that I'm writing for. A lot of my project has been managing and organising people, and for example arranging dates with the primary school and organising rehearsals and actors to act in the play. I've also contacted a lot of people for advice on the content and sort of the use of language for that age group. The other day I contacted the Egg Theatre in Bath, and I've also given samples of my play to a 10-year-old who'll be watching the play in March for feedback, and also a primary school teacher. So yes, the extended project's really helped me improve my communication skills and organising and managing people.
Thank you, Toby.
Hi, I'm Toby. My project is all about neuroscience and love, because my passion when I was younger has always been philosophy, because I was as interesting as school has always been. I've always wanted to try and, with intelligence, further my social side. So I started it because of philosophy. The big question for me was whether it was religion or some kind of natural biological process that made us. And I thought the best way to do that would be by looking at the brain and emotion. The biggest thing I'm looking at in my project is predetermination. Like if, the idea being that if you can, with emotion, if emotion is just a chemical process and decisions are just a chemical process, then perhaps we don't have any choice. And if we don't have any free will, for me that was such an exciting prospect because it answers so many questions. For me, 3 things I'd say I've learned. The first would be time management. When you have something always that has to be done, especially I'm sure everyone would agree, there's a lot of pressure on us when we do a lot of A-levels and things. And when there's something you always have to do, it's so much easier to try and step back from it and say, and you have to calm down, you have to be able to prioritize and effectively put things in slots and make sure you try and do everything. But relax, obviously, also. The second thing I'd say is it's given me the confidence in my own ability to know that I can work at a higher standard than I might have otherwise been doing. Like with homework, as you might have with some of your students, it's quite easy to just say, to be worried about doing an essay because it's hard and it's challenging, but once you've done something that's just at a little higher level, in all of my subjects, in chemistry in particular, I've got to say, it's just easier to get it done because I know I can do it now. But mainly, the biggest thing for me is neuroscience is going to be what I want to do when I'm older. I always used to be interested in maths and economics, and now that I've done this project, I know exactly what I want to do, and it's definitely neuroscience. It's become my passion, and it's going to change my life, which sounds a bit dramatic, but it will, and yeah, so
Thank you very
I
much.
hope it's worthy.
Hi, I'm Joe, and I'm taking chemistry, maths, physics and ICT, and obviously the extended project. And my actual extended project is on kind of music and maybe teaching, sort of. So it's like I'm doing like an instructional guitar book accompanied with a CD, so kind of interactive. And I didn't actually start at this topic. I actually started with music and film and how they're important and how kind of different musics make different kind of moods in films, and like horror films is kind of it's quite hard to explain, but it's quite kind of minor kind of chords, where if you have kind of a comedy you'd have like major kind of happy kind of things. But after a lot of research I actually got quite interested in music theory, and I did a lot of research into this and got quite far with it, but actually it was kind of pulling me I was like looking at an article and actually looking at like the links on the side to different articles rather than the actual article. So it kind of meant that I was not really getting into my project, I was getting into kind of reading around it, not the actual thing. So I thought actually I'll do music, kind of music theory and how it fits in with like writing guitar songs. And this was kind of really helped me because I'm really passionate about the guitar, it's like I do all the time. And actually I thought, well, if I'm doing kind of guitar, I'd like to kind of spread that knowledge, if you see what I mean, like, help other people to learn the guitar. So I thought I'd do a kind of instructional guitar book on how to play the different genres. And I thought I'd put a CD in to help. And yeah, that's now where my title is, and kind of shows that the extended project is kind of really free. You have like the deadlines and things, but as long as you know where you want to go, you can kind of do what you want, really. And that's really it.
Thank you very much.
When would it be available?
Right.
And how much are you going to charge?